I'm a young black man doing all that I can to stand. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being hurt to this grave. My people don't want no trouble. We've got enough struggle. I just wanna live.
It took 296 years for colonization, 46 years of apartheid, and 26 years now of democracy. This is a clear indication as to why our society still remains the way it is right now.
Hey guys, this is Lena and welcome to my channel. Today I thought to share about my experiences with racism, and please, if you have similar experiences or you know what I'm talking about, please just comment down below, like, share, and yeah, so that it gets out there and people talking about the experiences, because at the end of the day there is no time to be quiet. Guys, there is no time to be quiet. So my first experience with racism was in primary school, and those who were in primary school with me would know that I took my appearance and how I came across and you know how teachers pursued me quite seriously. So also we know that if you take a taxi, the chances of you getting to the place on time is like, oh my god, yeah, basically. And whenever you were late at school, her writing in your diary would not be enough for her. She'd have to have comments as in, this is not a black school, if you want to be late, go to a black school. And guys, I was just like, I mean, obviously at that time I did not realize that it was racism. I just thought, okay, she was being honest and whatever. Anyways, I mean, I thought she was being honest in her own way. Fine. I mean, freedom of expression, whatever. You can say whatever you want. It's a free world. So anyways, after that I encountered racism again in high school, and this was with the teacher in grade 8, and we were busy watching a movie called The Blind Side. For those who don't know, The Blind Side is a movie where Sandra Bullock basically helps this boy whose name is Mike, and he's a young black man. Now the conversation went from us saying that, talking about the actual movie, you know, discussing the movie, to us talking about how white people always helping black people, to us talking about, I mean, one person even commented like, I have never seen a black successful person. And guys, this was in 2016, and bear in mind, now I am the only black child in the class, and I was just like, yeah. And it hurt me. It actually hurt. And because I was the only black child, I didn't want to be, you know, as much as I was outspoken, but also at the same time I was a bit reserved, because this is high school and it's grade 8, and I don't want to, you know, start my high school career on a bad note. So I literally kept quiet, and the coloreds who were in the class were like, how guys, tell me how. And I was just sitting there like, hey, woo. Yeah, and I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember the teacher saying, can you please speak outside? And I was just like, okay, cool. So we went out, and when we were outside, she's like, And then I was just like, ma'am, the next time you want to be racist in your own class, please tell me to walk out. Because guys, honestly, when you're in a place of having to suppress what you feel, it becomes really uncomfortable. And obviously nobody wants to be uncomfortable, you know. Literally nobody wants to be uncomfortable, and especially in a place where you are there rightfully and you pay your fees and you pay your dues. So like, I don't understand why I should feel like baggage, or like I was done a favor to be where I was. Cool. So then after that discussion, and then she was just like, after I said what I said, she was like, well then I guess you're not mature enough for the conversation. And she was right, because at that time I was not mature enough for any conversation that had to do with racism. All I wanted to do was learn. So then after that, I saw my marks gradually going down, and I was just like, yeah, she marked me down. And then I remember I walked into the class and I actually literally asked her, ma'am, what did I do wrong? You know, show me exactly where I went wrong. You know, it had all the things that she asked, and I was just like, okay, cool. And then she couldn't answer me. She literally just freaked out. And I was just like, I'm not doing this, honestly. And I remember I took my file, my portfolio, and I walked out of class, and she was literally just like, you know. And I went to the deputy's office and I told him what had happened, and all they did literally was just say, just spare it for the rest of the year. After this, we'll ensure that you never in that teacher's class. And which they kept their promise, but at the same time, it was just like, I still had to bear the year with that person, and basically I still had to be in an uncomfortable and unconducive environment. Yeah, so that was like torture, and that was only grade 8. Cool. Skip to, I think I was in grade 10. Yeah, it was grade 10. Now there's this boy who had the guts to be like, sir, these monkeys are just roaming around the street. We must get soldiers to gun them down. I was just like, how did we get to this? You know, and I think if I'm not mistaken, it's around the time where Helen Zilla said that we are. So then I was just like, and then I kept quiet. I remember I literally just froze and I sat there in class, just staring at the like I was in disbelief as to how does one person get to the point of speaking the way that he speaks. And I mean, like, so anyways, I was scared because I've never been taught by the teacher that was teaching me at that time, and the things I'd heard about him was that he was quite racist, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I've never had any racist experience with that specific teacher. I mean, I was quite happy in his class because for him, if you work hard, he respects you, you know, regardless of whether you're black, white, colored, or whatever. So then the teacher literally took him on. Like, he was just like, not in my class, you know. And he went on, and I was just sitting there literally, and we were only 2 black kids in this class, and we sat there, and it was just like, how? And I can't remember the conversation, but like it was obvious that it was directed at black people, because why would you gun animals down? Why would you gun monkeys down? Anyways, skip to my last experience in high school of racism. There was this one boy. So we were just sitting in English class, and he literally called me a kafir. He called me a kafir in class. The teacher was there, people were there. Like, it wasn't like a private whisper. He called me a kafir blatantly. And luckily for me, I've never reacted to the word, because growing up, my dad used to like joke about the word, you know, like kafir, you got kafir, you know. And it was, for me, it was just a word, you know. It never had an effect as to how I then live my life or how I react towards a person. But for the fact that I don't know you and I never really spoke to you, I just see you, and then you feel like you can do that. How, guys? Yo. So then I stood up. I looked at the teacher, she wasn't doing anything. I looked at him, he was laughing. I was just like, so this guy thinks this is a joke. Cool. I chased him in class. Guys, I chased him around class, and I remember there was like a row of desks, and he kept on running. If I'm like this side, he'd run this side, and if I'm this side, he'd run to the other side. I jumped on the desk and I ran in the middle, and got to a point where he ran to a corner, and I got him. Man, did I not strangle the man? Hey! Now, I'm not a violent person, but I was angry, because I'm like, clearly you wanted me to react, and now I'm reacting because I'm literally giving you what you wanted, you know. And the teacher was literally just staying in the corner like, and literally she could not say anything. She could not, because, you know, she was quiet when the boy was calling me a kafir, but now you can't react when such things are happening in front of you, because obviously I believe then you're an accomplice to the whole entire thing, because you let the first thing happen, and no one was right between him and I should not have reacted like that, and he should not have called me that. But at the same time, I was just like, if you're quiet, then that means you agree or you're okay with what's happening in your class. And that brings me to my next point. Just because you personally are not racist, for the fact that you are comfortable and you allow racist or these such things to happen around you, then that means you are okay with it, and technically then indirectly you are racist, you know. Literally, you are what you tolerate, and if you tolerate oppression of others, then you are an oppressor as well. I mean, it just is. It's a fact. It's an unsaid fact. Yeah. Also, to talk about. Also, when it comes to Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter, guys, nobody said that white lives don't matter. But at this point,
Billie Eilish explained it better than I could have ever explained it. She says, I'm going to try to explain this as if I were explaining it to a child, because it feels like that's the only way you will understand. If your friend gets a cut on their arm, are you going to wait to give all your friends a band-aid first? Because all arms matter? No. You're going to help your friend because they are in pain, because they are in need, because they are bleeding. If someone's house is on fire and someone's stuck in the house, are you going to make the fire department go to every other house on the block first because all houses matter? No, because they don't need help. You are privileged whether you like it or not. Society gives you a privilege just for being white. You can be poor, you can be struggling, and still your skin is giving you more privilege than you ever realized. And nobody's saying that you are better than anyone. It just lets you live life without having to worry about surviving simply because of your skin color. You are privileged. And if you have time, please pause and read just a bit more. I hope it makes sense to you as much as it did to me.
Yeah, America and South Africa, and the reason I think many people are quite confused as to why we are reacting the way we are reacting in South Africa. Guys, racism is a global issue. Like, it's a worldwide issue. It isn't just an issue of South Africa. And racism, tribalism, I don't know, like all those things are just present all around us. And we all need to make a very active decision to actually actively go out there and try to educate ourselves on such topics and to try and change our minds, because clearly the way we've been doing things and thinking is wrong. Because look at the world, So, my issue with the entire conversation that is happening right now is that disrespect is disrespect, whether you do it subtly or you do it blatantly. There is no gray area if you're disrespecting someone, whether you do it undercover or you do it out there for the world to see. It is still disrespect at the end of the day. So, also, killing a person isn't just a physical thing. It goes deeper than that, Killing a person's spirit, killing a person's mind, depriving them of mental growth, trying to keep them in a box, trying to keep their minds confined. That is all different degrees of killing. I mean, personally, I feel like it even does worse damage, like when you actually kill the person's mind and kill their heart and their spirit, and make them feel like they're nothing, basically. That is worse off than you just like taking a knife and stabbing the person, because like at the same time, that person, those words that you had said last longer than the punch or the stabbing you would have given the person, like, and the effect is still the same. Guys, it is 2020 and we need to get with the program. Nobody's above anyone else. God is above all else. So people must stop acting like they're superior or they are better off, because color is just like a reflection of melanin. There's nothing deep about it. Yes, people are still they're still maintaining and benefiting from white supremacy, and I feel like that's the problem, and that's why most people don't want to actually recognize the fact that white privilege exists, and others are just inactively utilizing that benefit, and others are actively going out there to make others feel bad for being black or whatever. Guys, it is nice to be black. Yes, we have our own struggles, and yes, we were previously disadvantaged, and yes, we are still being affected by those things, but nothing makes life harder than other people that are actively out there and trying to make our lives difficult just because we're black or just because they're white and they can do whatever. It makes me feel like people are bored with their own lives, or their lives are not interesting enough, or we intimidate them in some sense. You know, that's just what it feels like. It's like there's a under layer of the actual problem. Of course there is an underlayer, because it's people's mentality that needs to be changed. You know, we are in a time and space where we need to, where how you feel about a person, or your perception of a person is dependent on how they act and the things that they do, and not just because of the way they look. Because some things, you can't change the fact that you're black. You know, yeah, guys, it's time for it to end. I mean, generation after generation, we're still having the same discussion, and it is sad to see that there are people who still have the sick mentality of thinking that they're still better than anyone else. Also, people that are making fun of the whole situation, because it is people that make subtle blows, or say things subtly, or act like they're not part of the problem, but they're just passively sitting there and not doing anything about those who are. You being quiet makes you an accomplice to the entire thing. Those are the problem. For me, the people that are straight out racist are not the problem really, because you know exactly where you stand with the person, and I feel like that is more comfortable for me, knowing exactly where I stand, than the people that act like they are not racist, but they tolerate these things, and they tolerate these people that do these things, and they never call them out for what they're doing. For me, those people are even worse of a problem, because it feels like you're okay with it and you're pretending, and pretending is never okay. It's not. That's you being lukewarm to the situation. Be straight, be upfront, be honest, and be what you need to be, and do what you need to do in order to make sure that everyone's at peace. I mean, peace is you having peace and me having peace. That is what's being peaceful. You don't have to create peace for me. You just need to stay in your lane and I'll stay in mine. Honestly, guys, that's just my perception. And thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.